Ways to efficiently improve communication skills. We have all had to endure some form of embarrassment due to miscommunication at one point in our lives. The means of exchanging information have become diverse, but the appropriate skills needed to do so efficiently are somewhat lacking. For most native English speakers, there is an assertion that speaking English equals good communication skills, but this is false. English is a language. Communication is a skill that needs to be mastered. In this video, I will discuss how you can efficiently improve your communication skills, but before then, be sure to subscribe to our channel. Now let's get started. Number 1. Listen actively. Listening is vital during communication. When communicating with friends, family, loved ones, workers, etc., a fundamental rule you need to remember is the art of active listening. Remember that communication involves having a fruitful conversation with someone else. This can only be done when you hear to understand and not just listen. You see, what understanding does for both the listener and speaker is to lay a leveled foundation upon which solid communication can be built. It enables them to be on the same page respectfully, even with varying opinions. You need to make supporting interjections that will make your speaker more comfortable and indicate that you follow the conversation. This also helps, especially for people who find it difficult to be coherent when discussing an issue. Number 2. Learn to focus. Focus is an essential element of proper communication. It can be linked to the first point because we can show that we actively listen by focusing on the speaker. In focusing, I always encourage that you maintain positive eye contact. The goal of maintaining eye contact when communicating with someone is not to make them uncomfortable by glaring or staring, rather than showing them that you are connected to them and interested in what they are saying. Eye contact is a difficult thing for most people to master, however, due to timidity and habit. Self-consciousness is a tool that can be used to overcome this. Do not forget that focusing is equally important for the speaker and the listener. Number 3. Positive body language. Whether you believe it or discard it, body language does affect the outcome of effective communication. Sometimes you hear people suggesting that a particular negative body language they exhibit is just who they are, and nothing can be done about it. I believe in uniquely expressing oneself, but expressing yourself positively also matters. For instance, the hands are used by many people when emphasizing a point. However, flaring arms can be extremely distracting. If you must use your arms, then you need to exercise caution. Also, furrowing your eyebrows and constantly fidgeting are indicators of anger, timidity, or extreme self-consciousness. This can send a negative message across to your listener. Even speaking on the phone, a proper body posture is said to allow audibility and clarity in voice. If you have a bad habit, be constantly reminded to maintain positive body language when interacting with others. Body languages you can employ include sitting upright with your hands in front of you, smiling comfortably, and learning to stand upright. This allows you to engage with people more openly and comfortably. Number 4. Know who you are addressing. The way and manner parents communicate with their kids varies from how a boss may communicate to his subordinates or the way couples might communicate with each other and friends. This is because interactions differ concerning the position of the person being communicated with. Knowing who you are addressing informs you of your choice of words and mannerisms. Your words and actions translate into impressions another individual may have of you, and this may either be positive or negative. To prevent any form of misunderstanding during communication, it is imperative to communicate appropriately for the person you are addressing. If you appreciate the content of this video so far, kindly hit the subscribe button now. Number 5. Think before you speak. With the 4 points above at play, the 5th point I would like to talk about is thinking before you speak. This point cannot be downplayed because of the potential effects it could have on a conversation. More often than not, we utter words we later regret because we had not thought about them before we let them out. At this level, you need to have understood the discussion, the viewpoint, and your personal subjective opinion on the matter. Before you utter any words, think about how what you are about to say could affect the communication and whether it is positive or negative. In communication, exchanging information must be done most appropriately and respectfully. Thinking before you speak will help you gather your thoughts and communicate them effectively. Number 6. Know your stuff. To have little or no knowledge on the subject of discussion can be very embarrassing. Even during interactions with peers, it can be very awkward to be silent when immersed in a fruitful conversation. The feeling of being left out is something no one should suffer. Therefore, I always encourage you to do your research and understand the subject of a discussion to make an appropriate contribution. Even if you are in a situation where you couldn't do so, listen attentively to understand the problem and subsequently make contributions. Number 7. Be efficient in your speech. When you are speaking, it is crucial to do so efficiently. Efficiency in communication entails clarity, precision content, and completeness. Speak clearly and go straight to the point. Do not mumble your words. Also, learn to expand your vocabulary so that you can use words to effectively aid understanding. Intermittent pauses, effective use of tone and pitch, and rounding up also help create emphatic effects, which will generally make your speech smoother and easier to comprehend. Number 8. Improvise. Improvising undoubtedly is a very tricky point because of its level of objectiveness. Regardless, learning from others who are good at improvising will propel you to think in creative directions. Improvising is simply what you can come up with to ease a crisis in a conversation. For instance, in a long, tedious, monotonous conversation, you can tell stories, give practical examples or experiences, and use visual representations such as drawings and pictures to alleviate the boredom and draw your audience and listener in. Number 9 makes fears secondary. It is completely normal to have some form of nervousness, especially when speaking to an audience. This brings me to my 9th point. Make fear secondary. There could be the tendency to focus on communication areas you lack, but I admonish, especially for introverted people, that you stay positive. Encourage and inspire yourself all the way up, say positive things, and avoid negative thoughts. This will leave you feeling confident and capable of delivering on any platform you find yourself on. Number 10. Practice. Last but certainly not least, practice. Practice indeed makes a man perfect. Constantly practicing not only gives the chance to see and acknowledge your shortcomings, but, thankfully, also allows you to remedy them. Practice can never be outdated, and so practice continuously, time and again, to improve your skills. Wrapping up, I just want to remind you that communication skills will take time and practice, just like any other skill. Good communication skills improve daily interactions, relationships, and generally help in the success of our everyday life. Still, skills are not perfected in a day. I hope you've found a solution to a communication problem you have or have learned something new. Thank you for your time, and till we meet again, remember, I am rooting for your best outcome.